After making tens of thousands of cold calls, I can tell you that your script isn't the reason why you're not booking meetings. Scripts don't fail because they're weak. They fail because buyers don't want to be manipulated. They want to be led. Great cold calls don't actually sound polished. They sound certain, relevant, and intentional. Now, I've broken this down today into 5 different pillars. So, relevance beats rapport. Insight is way more valuable than the script. Tonality signals our authority. The conversation is the qualification, and why scripts can feel safe for people that are starting out cold calling. Let's go over pillar 1. So, buyers don't just stay because they like you. They stay because you make them feel that you matter. Now, building rapport without relevance just feels like small talk. Buyers are listening for, is this worth my attention? Right? So the fastest way to earn that person's trust is to say something accurate about their world. That relevance is what creates permission, and that permission creates that conversation, gets it going, right? So insights are way more valuable than the script. Like, this comes from The Challenger Sale, a book written by Matthew Dixon and Brent Adamson. They talk about how buyers don't just reward better delivery, they reward better perspective, right? So the 3 T's is something they go over: teach, tailor, and take control. First, we teach them something. We lead with a pattern, not a pitch. We surface a problem that they may be living with, but they haven't named it yet, so we don't know for sure, right? The insights should create tension on the call, but it shouldn't incur agreement. For example, what we're seeing across teams like yours is, or most people in your role don't realize this until it's already costing them. Then we tailor it to that person. So one insight across multiple different lenses. Executives hear things like risk, exposure, leverage. Operators hear things like time, process, or effort. So how we can increase their time or reduce the process and the effort as well. Then we take control of the conversation. We control the direction, but not the actual buyer in this case, because we don't want to manipulate them, right? Ask questions that advance their thinking, but stay grounded when you face resistance, because they're gonna come back and they're gonna say, this isn't what we're doing today, or we've already got this sorted and whatever. We need to stay grounded in that circumstance. Control isn't pressure, it's actually conviction. Now, tonality signals our authority, how our voice shapes the entire call. Before buyers evaluate our message, they evaluate our certainty, right? How certain we are about this insight or this problem that the prospect is facing. Our calmness signals our experience. Being neutral sounds grounded, not needy. Slowing down the pace communicates our confidence, and silence shows that we are comfortable with tension. What authority actually sounds like? So pauses without apology, no verbal fillers or softening language, and no urgency to actually persuade them. Now, the conversation is actually the qualification. We're not trying to earn a meeting, right? We're trying to test the relevance in real time. Make sure that that prospect actually has the problem that we can solve. Engagement on the call tells you more than checklists can, right? So your script might be like, okay, cool, they have this, let's book a meeting. But if they're not engaged on the call and they're just saying yes, 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 maybe they don't actually care. They're not listening to you. That could increase the no-show rate as well, right? Now, pushback is a signal, not an outright rejection. Pushback from the prospect shows that they're engaged, right? Or maybe they're listening. Maybe these are things they already are working on, but they haven't heard of our solution yet. So it's very important to really dig deeper into the pushback and what objections might be coming through. Good questions do the qualifying for you. So making sure we're tailoring our questions to either that executive or if they're like an operator type of level. The call reveals the fit. Now, the meeting just simply continues the momentum. Once we're done with our job, we now know what problems they face, what things we can solve for them, what we might not be able to do for them, and what they already have in place. We have so much context around that person's situation that we can then use that as momentum on our meeting with them. Now, why scripts feel safe for someone that's just sort of starting out cold calling? Scripts don't create confidence, they hide the uncertainty under that person's tone. They protect the rep emotionally, so sometimes you can get tripped up if you're, just talking or whatever. They reduce fear, not friction. However, over-reliance on the script can make conversations rigid. Rigidity kills that curiosity and presence. We need a stronger operating mindset. So explore instead of perform. Let go of the outcome. One call will never define your ability, right? So if you're an entry-level rep or someone that's just starting out cold calling, make sure that you're really letting go of the outcome. We don't want to be relying on, these meetings being booked and whatnot. We want to be putting in the reps. All you can control is your input. Now, this is where the real skill comes into play, where cold calling is not just a game of memorization or reading a script out loud and making sure you're making as many calls as possible. It's more about your actual judgment, which comes over time, right? You'll build your intuition. Judgment means knowing when to push, when to pause, when to challenge, and when to walk away. Scripts teach you what to say, but it doesn't teach you when and why to say it. And that's what actually books meetings. Thanks for listening.